What you got to hear about tonight. You better start stockpiling, my friends. It's about to be lights out for light bulbs, at least those lowest wattage varieties. Starting January 1st, it will be illegal, against the law, to make or import those traditional 40 and 60-watt bulbs that you grew up with. Robert Bryce, a senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute. How many of these have you stockpiled, my friend?
Jerry, I started buying some. Well, I have about 60 in my garage now. I bought them. I bought them last year when I first heard about them outlawing these bulbs. I bought them because I have LEDs. I've tried them. I've tried the compact fluorescents. I just find the incandescents, the light is better. I prefer them. So rather than have them outlawed or not be able to get them, I'm stockpiling.
Now, I read, and I have to give you this pushback here. This is what I read. You tell me if it's true. They say that only 10% of the energy that one of these incandescents uses actually goes to light. The rest is used up in heat. So it sounds like they're not very efficient, Robert.
That's true, Jerry. They're not very efficient. The current models of incandescents that we're using now are essentially the same as the model that Thomas Edison perfected about 1882. We've been using essentially the same technology for 130 years. But what other technology, what other world-changing invention such as this one has been outlawed? I can't think of another one. The incandescent changed the world, and now we're going to outlaw it. Consumers don't buy the most efficient model necessarily of anything. They buy what works for them.
Yeah, just look at the Prius.
Work well.
Look at the Prius compared to trucks, right? I mean, people buy the trucks. They're not necessarily the most energy efficient. We have the Energy Act of 2007 to thank for this light bulb ban and other great things like ethanol. Thanks a lot for that. How did we get into, I mean, George Bush signed this. How did we get into this mess that we're banning these bulbs?
Well, you're right. It's the legacy of the Energy Independence and Security Act of 2007. And this was pushed. In fact, I remember Representative Jane Harman pushed this specific plank of the legislation saying it was going to transform the U.S., make us energy independent. The reality is that was a load of bunk. The reality is that consumers, again, they buy what works. I buy incandescents because I like